for Thanksgiving. I mean, another close one, but you guys found a way to win, and it's kind of been like that recently.
Yeah, I think the positive is, we're going to be in tight games, from here on out more times than not, and so, to be able to have that experience of just finding different ways to win, whether that's, taking care of the ball in the second half. I believe we only had 3 turnovers, which is conducive to winning. Getting to the line, having experience with, making free throws, having experience with just getting stops, or just, maybe, having to execute on offensive, on the offensive end consecutively to make sure you get the look that you want to get. So, all those are positive things. Again, we never apologize for getting a win, ugly or pretty. But I think all this is just, hopefully makes you battle tested.
Last time we were in this room, we were talking about Lukai sitting in the last, 15 minutes. Now this time, doesn't come off the floor. That's kind of a key player for you. What'd you see from him to kind of?
Yeah, I think the first thing was he had a good week of practice. I think that's where it all starts, right? When you're trying to get into a rhythm and get it going, it's like those habits. What are your daily habits? And I think he had a really good week of practice, which builds confidence with everybody, and especially yourself. And it carried over to the game, and I think in the first half with some foul issues, decided to roll with him, and he got into a rhythm. I still think guys, including him, passed up a couple or were hesitant on a couple, and sometimes when you do that, you take away a good shot for maybe a little bit harder one, whether it's a 2 or a 3, and I think that's the next step is now that you've seen a couple go in, now play in that rhythm, don't second guess, and make the right play. But I thought him and Isaac really did a good job, just kind of controlling tempo, especially in the second half. And I think they had 9 assists, only 2 turnovers between them, and continue to just run the show.
Without Mike out there, it seemed like he was the one that tried to facilitate, and then his shot maybe wasn't looking for it as much. But this game, he was really looking for a shot, and it kind of got himself in the rhythm in the second half.
Yeah, I thought he took shots that presented it to him. I think, especially in these games when they're just loading up on Dawson, whether that's an early double or they're just sagging in there and they're playing off some of these other guys, like you got to make some of those to keep the defense honest. And so I thought he took shots that they gave him, and he's a good shooter. So he took shots that he's supposed to take, and he was shot ready, and they went in. And so that's got to be a kind of trickle down effect for him and for everybody else, is that we got to continue to be shot ready, and when the opportunity presents itself, be confident to step up there and make shots.
During the stretch that it was a little frustrating, obviously, with missing some free throws, things like that. What was the mindset of the team, and who kind of stepped up leadership-wise?
I think they were always really confident group. I think that's the one benefit about being in games like this, is they know they're going to find a way to win. This isn't obviously our first rodeo, so that is the positive thing. I think you build like a hardness to you when you're tested like this. And so they also knew what it takes to win. So it's like, all right, if you miss a free throw, make sure you make the next couple. When we come down, take care of the ball. Press, right, we're running our press break, come back to the ball, run it sharp, get a catch. Like all those little stuff, that's what they were talking about. And that's what they were thinking about, because they knew that those were going to be the winning plays in the last minute, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, what have you. And so it's good to have a group that's talking about that stuff, talking about, first shot defense, talking about defending without fouling, asking me if are we gonna go into our smack or not. So all the talk was really good, but I think a lot of that was, to previous experiences, that they understood, what's in front of them and what they're gonna have to do to close this out.
And beyond shot taking, what do you need to see offensively when there's so much attention on Dawson?
Yeah, I think today, what do we have? 17 assists, which that's more us, right? I think the games where we're under, especially we're under 10, like that's just that we're not built like that. We're not an ISO team. We're not a go get it team. And so, we've got to be able to make the defense pay, and you do that through ball reversals. We've got to get that ball moving. We got to swing it. We got to drive to skip it. I thought we did that today. And again, when teams are sagging in and they're putting all their attention to Dawson, ball movement, right? It's got to be quick reads, quick decisions, passing up a good one for a great one, driving kick, which I thought our guys did today. But like I've always said, we got to live in that 18 to 22, 24 assist range. If we do that, I think we got a chance to be successful and not only in these tight games, but in games that are going to be competitive in league play. That's got to be our formula. We got to share it.
You've played a lot of home games. Now you're going on the road to Orlando, and obviously Wichita State's undefeated, and potentially Wake Forest and Florida, two toughest teams you played yet. What did you get from playing at home, and how different is it going to be on the road?
Yeah, the good thing, I think with an older group, they've been on the road before. With only playing one, underclassman in Isaac. These guys understand what a tournament setting is like. They understand what it's like to not play at home. Sometimes guys go on the road and a change of environment could be good. It could relax them a little bit. You spend a lot of time together as a team. There's sometimes less distractions when you're on the road. So I look forward to it. I think our guys do too. It's a chance to win a championship, chance to play. Going to be two really good quality opponents and really test to see where we're at. And so I think it's all positive, exciting, and glad we're going in there with a little bit of momentum.
It's too early to talk about resume and things like that, but it's one of the reasons why you put this on the schedule, because you knew with all those home games, like you needed.
Definitely.
Yep.
No, definitely. I think you're always, trying to find numbers-wise what can help you. Again, I think Central Michigan is, projected to be top half team in their league. Hope they continue to win. But no, I think, you got an undefeated Wichita State team who's played some good competition, and then obviously you got, one team that's going to be top 20 and one team that's probably top 35. So it's a great opportunity. And again, neutral site. I know we're going to have some good number of fans there and see what we got.
How close was Mike to going to playing tonight, and what's kind of his outlook heading into the end of the week?
Yeah, he's getting close. He's getting close. I think right now it's not necessarily the offensive end. It's more like the defensive end, just lateral movement, and just seeing where he's at with that. But he took a big jump these last 4 days, and we'll see where he's at this week. But it's thankfully getting there, and so we'll see what it looks like.
I've got a question that's like a weird one, because obviously, so obviously, if you don't have a great free throw shooting day, all the fans are always like, why don't they practice? Obviously, you practice free throws all the time. Do you notice any patterns when you have a good game versus not a good free throw shooting game as far as preparation goes, or practices, things you see?
No, because here's the thing, we do the exact same thing, and we shoot. I know there's some people probably, it always is funny to me that people don't think that every college team doesn't put a crazy amount of time on free throws. The other thing too is if you're a head coach and you harp on it so much, who do you think is going to feel that? Your players, right? So if I make such a huge deal about it, like over the top, and they can sense that I'm iffy about it, that they feel that, right? So it's a combination of figuring out, all right, they know it's important. No one's going up there to miss. How do you get them in the state where they can block out the noise? And again, it's like three-point shooting. If a guy can go to the line and make one, it builds confidence for everybody. So I think that's the biggest thing is, can we get to the line early and see them go in? And then once that happens, then all of a sudden now there's confidence throughout the room of like, oh, this is what we do now. Versus if a couple of guys go up there and they don't have success early, well, that's in the back of players' minds. That's just human nature. And so I think it's just important. You gotta shoot them in practice, obviously, to build the confidence. But it's a totally different shot when there's game pressure. It's a totally different shot when there's fans in the crowd than when you're in AV shooting in an empty gym or shooting with teammates. And so it's just getting those game reps. But the biggest thing is just it's seeing it going, whether it's you or somebody else. If whoever, let's say Frank goes to the line, but he's seen Dawson make two, Mike make two, Brennan make two, it's a different, right? Because you've seen 6 go in. So he's going to the line now, not with like the weight of the world on him, versus if guys have been missing, he knows that. So now it's like, oh man, am I gonna be the guy that keeps the streak alive of missing? Am I gonna be the guy that breaks it? Well, that's a different set of mind games. And so I want our guys to be confident. I want our guys to step to the line, blocking out just all the noise, and that's when the practice comes in. Like, what are you thinking about in AV in an empty gym when you're by yourself? What are you thinking about in team practice that allows you to relax and you make them in that setting? Can you apply it and do the same thing when there's game pressure? And so I think that's really all that is. And I thought we were a little bit better today. Obviously only had a couple guys go to the line, but Lukai 3 or 4. I mean, we all know Dawson probably makes more of those than he misses. And so you just continue to get there. You can't fear it. We got to hopefully utilize that down the road.
Is Mike possible for Orlando, or is it more like Bethune or?
Possible. Now I'm not saying that to say like, am I expecting him to play in game 1? That I don't know yet. Have I totally ruled it out? No. If he doesn't go, does that mean he's taking a step back? Absolutely not. I think the biggest thing with that is making sure it's strong so that, it was such a bad sprain. I don't want to rush him, then all of a sudden a little tweak and now it's another 2 weeks. So I just want to really, really, really make sure with this type of ankle injury that he's confident, he's good to go. And so again, if he can play this week, great. If he can't, that does not mean that he had a setback.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.
Thanks for that answer too. I'm gonna put that on repeat all the time. That was like the
Questions for either of the athletes?
Dawson, just talk about going to the line at the end of the game. I know you've been there before, trying to ice it out for this team. You had a lot of close games, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, every time I go to the line, you know, I'm thinking I'm making them. I got a lot of confidence in myself, so I'm surprised when I miss. Honestly, I missed a couple of them tonight, but I made some clutch ones too, so I'm kind of too.
When you guys have been in close games this many times, you know, kind of what goes through your mind? I know that there was that one loss, but you guys have won a few of these in a row here.
It's, you know, just us, you know, learning how to play with each other and building off, you know, all these, you know, Big Ten player. I heard it's just, you know, real gritty. So it's nice that we, you know, we're learning how to win late, you know, in these games, and you know, our defense is really helping us win these games. So.
Okay, what's the emotion like to kind of have a bounce back game and see some shots come in?
Man, feels good for sure. Like I said, my coaches, you know, and my teammates, they always, you know, just tell me it's gonna fall, and they put that confidence in me. Even you know, the struggles I had shooting early. I know I didn't shoot the best tonight, but I mean, you know, some ones went in. But them just, you know, keep continuing telling me to shoot the ball and you know, next shot mentality. You know, that's really been helping me this last game and this whole week at practice.
What is it like playing with Isaac out there? Because I mean, he had a couple big shots in the first half, but he's mostly kind of looking for guys.
Yeah, just, you know, just a solid all-around player. Good dude, you know, good kid. You know, just try to teach him as much as I can. You know, with the short time that me and him have. You know, he listens. You know, he takes in, you know, everything. You know, criticism or the positive stuff, and he takes it and runs with it, and you know, tries to get better with it. And I've been around a lot of guys, and you know, he handles criticism a lot better than a lot of people, and you know, I really got a lot of respect for that guy. So,
Dawson, how does playing in a lot of these close games help you guys with the new team?
Yeah, it helps us a lot. I mean, obviously we don't want to be in close games with, you know, the ultimate respect to our opponents, but we don't necessarily want to be in close games early on. But at the end of the day, it's giving us experience. We are a new team, so you know, continuing to just gel and get things right down the stretch. Learning how to win, no matter your opponent at Division I level, it's tough down the stretch. You know, I've known that my whole career, and so it's encouraging and looking to. We got a great opportunity in Orlando. Like I'm excited to see what we can do out there.
Dawson, speaking of Orlando, you've done a number of these Thanksgiving trips and holiday trips. How does that change a team? Like as far as like off the court bonding, teamwork, all of that, getting to know each other a little better. Have you seen teams kind of emerge after that?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, it's a time where you're really like, I guess, forced to be with each other. I mean, that's really how it is at home too. But a time where we get to get out and see new places and you know, just bond in that type of way. But you know, this is a super close team, and I'm probably having the most fun that I've had in my career in Minnesota with this team. You know, we got a great group of guys.
Why do you say that? Why has this been the most fun?
I don't know, honestly. It's just we just got a great group, a lot of personalities, and so it's just you know, I've definitely loved playing on every team I've been on. But you know, this team has just been it's got something to it.
We saw Frank mix it up with Central Michigan a little bit. Does he have that kind of characteristic to him to get underneath people's skin?
yeah, Frank is a character, man, but that's our guy. Frank, you know, when he plays with that aggressiveness, we're really good. You know, especially the way he hits the glass, and you know, the scary part is once he start making his free throws, and you know, people can't foul him. You know, the way he just, you know, attacks the glass with a grizzly mentality. You know, we need that. So, kudos to Frank, man. He's really a hard worker too. So.
Dustin talked a little bit about it, but what about Orlando? Kind of excites you. I mean, those are teams that you know, possibly could be in the tournament. That's where you guys want to go.
Yeah, for sure. It's like I said, it's gonna be a good test for us. Just happy to go out there with the group of guys we got. Feel like we got the talent to compete with them type of teams. You know, you can look around the country, man. Every game been close. So, I mean, these games ain't no gimmies. Especially, you know, just where everybody, or I feel like everybody's kind of even around the country right now. But these games that it's gonna you know, show what we got. You know, first road trip, so it's gonna show how together we are. So.
Anything else for the players? All right. Thank you.
Guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you.